nobody should cook with seed oils, because when you do, you create a massive amount of new toxins that you either breathe in or eat or both. But again, none of these are in the seed. And these are very similar to the toxins that develop during the factory. The same processes can occur every time you heat an oil. And so when you deep fry it, you're really heating it. You're heating it up to a couple hundred degrees for an extended time period. So the more heat and the more time, the more toxins. And it's coming from the polyunsaturated part of the fats, of the polyunsaturated types of fatty acids that are in the oils. And the reason that these oils are unhealthy is, and the defining feature of junk food, is because they are high in these polyunsaturated fatty acids, which deteriorate when you heat with them and when you process them. There is actually an army of scientists who have been trying to mitigate the toxin development during both the refining and the heating. These are the seed oil scientists. They work in the industry, and they are constantly looking for ways to make the oil as less toxic as possible. And the answer is because of chemistry. It's just that's just the basic chemistry of the polyunsaturated fatty acids, the very types of fatty acids that the American Heart Association and Harvard tell us to be eating more of because of the processing. There's toxins, as I mentioned. How many? Well, in your average bottle, about 5%. This is from canola oil. This is a study that looked at what happened to canola oil after processing, and this is before being thrown in the deep fat fryer and heated again. And many of the fat-soluble vitamins are lost, 75% of the E vitamins, 80% of the vitamin A, and pretty much 100% of the minerals are stripped out. Dr. Kate, because I only cook with olive oil at home, and I have to tell them that it's not just what you're cooking with. Because these days, manufacturers, we eat a lot of foods that someone else made for us. And these days, while we have lots of other labels, but we do not have one for toxin-free, seed oil-free. But you can be buying foods that you think are healthy, and unless you read the fine print on every label, you won't have a clue that they're loaded with seed oils. And same deal when you go out to eat at pretty much any kind of a chain restaurant, sit-down restaurant, whether it's fast food or not, 99% of the time it's a seed oil. They're not going to be cooking with olive oil, and increasingly they're using butter oil instead of actual butter, which may have zero butter in it or may have a blend with a small portion of butter. Here's an example of why this is an organic infant formula. The first fat in here is safflower or sunflower oil, and the second one is soybean oil. So these little babies are just getting a ton of seed oils if this is what you're buying for them, thinking it's okay because it's organic.